The reason why you're not doing the deals that you know you could in your real estate investing business boils down to one thing, and that one thing is focus. The problem that I had getting my business going wasn't the fact that I knew what I wanted to do and there was enough opportunities. There was plenty of opportunities, but I was focusing on too many things at once, but also I was focusing on the wrong things in my business. It's not that someone else is smarter than you. If you're trying to break into this industry, I remember looking up at all the biggest gurus in my market. I'm like, how are they making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month? They can't be smarter than me. There's no way. They were just focusing on the right stuff, and that was bringing them deals. So in this video, I'm gonna share with you exactly what you need to be focusing on to get consistent deals. And if you stick around to the end, you'll have the fully built out process, and you'll see the most common problem that investors have, and it's the reason why they can never go full-time in real estate. Let's check it out. First things first, there's many pieces to your real estate investing business that if you break it down, you have lead generation, you have management, you have underwriting, you have negotiations, you have transaction coordination, and then you have dispositions. And finally, after dispositions is where the deal gets closed. So think about this as a funnel, right? You have to have more stuff pouring in at the top for things to actually get here to the end, where deals get closed and where you make money. So what I did here was I turned that funnel on its side, and we're going to look at this as a conveyor belt. And the reason why most investors have a tough time getting consistent deals is because they're focusing on the wrong pieces of the conveyor belt. They're focusing on things that are happening later on down the line. Just imagine real quick if you worked in a factory. Let's just say your factory builds cars, and your specific job was to make sure the car is ready to be driven, right? You're the test driver, and you're wondering like, why are there not more cars for me to test drive? When the reality was, we don't even have enough material to build the car frame up front, nor do we have the stuff that goes in the car, nor do we have the tires and all the other things. And we're wondering why in our business, we don't have the end result that we're looking for, when really it's something we need to look at that starts further down the pipeline. A common problem that I had was I was wondering, do I start by building a buyer's list? Should I go there? Should I go find people who want to buy real estate investing deals and the fix and flippers and stuff? Should that be where my focus is? And the answer is no. If you're spending time here and you're wondering why, my goal is to close more deals, so I'm going to focus on the selling of the deal aspect, so I'm going to go build my buyer's list. Well, look, you don't have a business, because the problem is there's also no files to do any transaction coordination on. And then even before that, there's no files to do any negotiations on. And even before that, there's nothing to potentially underwrite. And even before that, there's nothing to properly manage. And then finally, the very top of the funnel is lead generation. So if someone asks, if I'm brand new and I'm trying to get my business off the ground, where should I be spending my energy and focus? It's right here. It's at lead generation. Because guess what? If you're not getting in the volume you need to do deals on a consistent basis, guys, in our real estate investing business, it takes 50 properties. That's the real number. 50 properties to get one deal. If you're not getting anywhere from 3 to 5 properties a day, or as many properties as you potentially could, then guess what? I'm gonna go ahead and mark this red. You don't have no business. So look, if you're trying to figure out all the best sales tactics and learning contracts, building a buyer's list and all these different things, you're avoiding the work. The most important work in your business in the beginning is leads. So if you're gonna hire a virtual assistant, guess what that virtual assistant should be focusing on? Getting you leads. If you're thinking like, hey, I got an hour to devote to my business today, what should I be doing? Getting leads. If you had 2 hours, what should you be doing? Getting as many leads as you possibly can. This is step one for any new investor, is lead generation. It's the top of the funnel. This has to happen for the other things to happen. The next big bottleneck. So what you're going to see in this whole model and conveyor belt is just relieving constraints, relieving bottlenecks along this conveyor belt. So the next step is lead management. Under lead management, all we do here is we're calling and following up with leads. So if you're not consistently calling your leads, then why do we even generate them in the first place? So we finally relieved that bottleneck in our business. We finally are getting 3 to 5 leads a day, but guess what? No one's calling them. No one's going through and actually working them properly. When someone says, yeah, call me back tomorrow, you forget to call them back tomorrow. And if you don't have a system, right? So in our business, we use our CRM, is called Deal Generator, and Deal Generator helps remind us and sends out automated messages so we stay on top of our follow-ups and we properly manage those leads. So guess what? After you have leads and you have virtual assistants helping in your business, where should you be focusing your time? Lead management, calling the stinking leads. I work with my students all the time, and normally my students that are stuck between 1 to 3 deals a month, their biggest problem isn't something further down the line. It's not evaluating deals. It's not selling deals. It's the fact that they're not managing their leads. They're not calling them. They're not getting back with them in a timely manner. So if you guys want to learn how to properly manage a lead, I just posted a video on my channel where I talk exactly about how to do that. Call this like the second touch. And there's a whole strategy about positioning yourself properly to really manage your leads to get the most out of them. This is the second bottleneck, is calling and following up with your leads. This has to be done consistently. And this is where you kind of sit for a little while. Now, when the time comes and you want to scale your business and you're ready to, another word for scaling really should be optimizing. So where you optimize your business next is relieving in this constraint, is having someone help you follow up with your leads and call your leads. So then that way you could focus on the next step, which is evaluating your deals. You don't need to spend time learning how to underwrite. You don't need to spend time learning how to evaluate every different type of deal. None of that's going to make you money, but eventually you're going to want to learn this skill, and hopefully along the way have people that you can partner with that know these other things. So that way it can help you alleviate bottlenecks as you continue to grow. But underwriting is the third step. I won't even worry about underwriting a deal unless I know it's actually a good lead. And that's why the management comes before underwriting. So if you're not evaluating your deals, you don't know how to evaluate your deals, or you don't know how to figure out a good buy price, or like what would an end investor actually pay, and you don't have those kind of connections, and you're not doing this, then guess what? No business. You're not making any money. You're managing your leads, but your numbers are all off. I don't know about you guys, but I get emails all the time from other wholesalers and investors. They ask way too much money for their deals. I'm like, who in the world taught these people how to underwrite? Their numbers are way off. So guess what? They're probably not making the money they could if they really learn how to underwrite. But this is not the most important skill to getting started. This is the third most important skill. But once you're ready and you're ready to grow, then this is something you need to know. And to be honest with you guys, even to this day, this was like the last thing that I delegated to someone because it's so important, understanding where you need to be to buy a property. Now, the next step after knowing how to underwrite a property is the ability to negotiate. You got to be able to negotiate deals. All this you can make up in numbers what you lack in skill. So maybe instead of it taking you 50 properties to do a deal, maybe it takes you 100 because you're not as proficient as someone who's been doing this a long time on managing leads and underwriting them and negotiating them. But that's okay. I'm not saying that you can't do deals in general. It just won't be as good as it could. So this is the fourth thing you work on, which is negotiations. This is the next bottleneck. So now that you've underwritten the property, now you need to have the skills to be able to position yourself to get the price that you need for a property. If you can't negotiate the price that you need, you will not do deals and you won't make the money. If I said, hey, our average assignment fee, our average deal when it comes to wholesaling is 15 to 20 grand. Well, we create that 15 to 20 grand by how well we negotiate. If I wasn't good at it, maybe my average assignment fee is 2 grand, 5 grand, or maybe it's nothing, right? You see some of these deals, it's crazy, right? But this is the fourth thing you do. And if you're not doing this, guess what? You don't really have a business. You still have a hustle, right? In this business model in wholesaling, negotiations is what we call the queen bee role. This needs to be happening all the time. So think about a colony of bees, right? Everybody in the colony supports the queen. Everything in your business should be supporting the person getting deals. If you don't have that role figured out and it's not being supported properly, you're not going to make consistent revenue in this model. It is the queen bee role. This typically is the last thing someone delegates outside of obviously like underwriting. It's the negotiation component. It's also the hardest to delegate. If you like this video, then you are going to love our school community. School.com/no fluff real estate. You're going to find the recordings from our live trainings. You're going to have opportunities to join in on the live trainings themselves, and literally everything you can imagine to get support on, from negotiations, underwriting, all the different topics that we don't even post on the YouTube channel or inside of the school community. But the best part is the community. Be surrounded by other investors that are doing exactly what you're doing, learning this information, but more importantly, taking massive action on it. Let's get back to the training. So having someone that's skilled enough to be able to close deals is crucial. Anyone can do this. If you're a person that's great at talking to people or you're an introvert, you can learn the skills that's necessary for negotiating deals. I'm not really this extroverted person. I love talking about real estate. I love doing videos about it, but I'm not somebody that's just going to go talk to random strangers in public. That's not my personality. But I learned the skills that was necessary to be able to communicate with people in real estate to get the prices and get the things that I needed to be able to make money. So I know you can do it too, regardless of your situation. The next step is transaction coordination. In all honesty, guys, this is one of those things that you should just pay for. I don't think it's important that you guys learn everything there is to know about contracts. I have videos inside of our school group, which by the way, if you're not in, go to school.com/no fluff real estate. There's a video in there that just discusses contracts. Watch it. It's like 30 minutes to an hour. You will know enough to be dangerous. You don't need to be every little legal jargon. You don't need to know all that. You could pay someone $500 within the transaction. Once the deal closes, they get paid. You can pay them to kind of take this on for you. So you don't need to learn everything there is to know about contract. I'd recommend paying someone to do that. And in fact, you should be negotiating more deals. You shouldn't be getting a contract, doing transaction coordination, and doing all these things. You need to be focusing on the things that brings you money, which is the queen bee role. And then the last piece of this is the disposition, right? It's the selling of the deal. So if deals aren't being sold consistently at this point, then yes, build your buyer's list, build some connections. And to be honest with you guys again here, I never went out and built a buyer's list of thousands and thousands of people. I have like 1 or 2 connections in any given market that have access to thousands of buyers. And I just tell them what I want to make on a deal. They take it and they go sell it to someone else. They get paid a fee for finding the buyer, but I'd rather do it that way. It helps me focus on the queen bee role. which brings in more money. I can have more deals to sell, and it just really supports itself like from end to end. So when you look at this, it's pretty clear to see that you could be easily focusing on the dispo or the TC or negotiations or the underwriting or the lead management. It's like, where should I even be focusing on? Hopefully this brings you a lot of clarity to say, hey, if you're not getting consistent lead flow, this is where you need to be. You have to be getting leads on a consistent basis. Otherwise, nothing else matters. So when you look at this and you're brand new, or maybe you're like, this is kind of overwhelming. I don't really even know what step I need to take today. The reality is there's groups of people that you can get what I call strategic partners to help you fill in the gaps on the areas that you may be lacking. So what I do inside of my group is I teach people this, and for my students, I basically fill in all the gaps that they don't know until they can fill it in themselves. I give them the business model and I say, great, well, this is the constraints. You're going to face a lead management problem because you've never done this before. Or guess what? Okay, you close deals where your biggest problem is going to be positioning yourselves properly and to increase your conversion rate. You're getting one deal in every 100 leads. Let's get that down to 1 in 25. Let's get that down in 1 in 20. It's possible, but it comes with garnering the skills that come with that. So the problem is people don't last because you can't be broke for months and try to make it in real estate. The way to do this, to break through, is you get strategic partners that can fill in the gaps for you. So inside of our school community, I'd highly recommend popping in there because I guarantee there's somebody in there doing these deals and is proficient at these skills that maybe you're lacking. Maybe you don't know how to manage leads. You need more clarity around that. Or maybe you're like, I don't even know how to properly evaluate a deal and you need help with that. Or maybe you're like, I would love to hear someone negotiate a deal so I can hear what it sounds like and looks like because I'm going to get leads. It'd be great to have someone negotiate the deal and I'm willing to give up a portion of it to have someone do that for me. Or maybe you're like, I don't know transaction coordination or I've never seen a deal get sold. Great. That's everybody. So if you're looking for strategic partners and people to help, you need to be surrounded by a community of people that are already doing it. So this isn't like me plugging the school group. It's just me being honest with y'all. You need to be in there because there's so much information in there from our master classes and other things that we do here on the channel. All the recordings go into the school group. So I don't even know why you're not there yet. School.com/no fluff real estate. But guys, hopefully this video brings a lot more clarity on the things you need to be focusing on in your business. And hopefully this will give you the confidence to really start finding solutions to this. And this says, hey, look, today I'm getting leads, but I'm actually not calling them. If I'm going to be honest, I'm not getting back with them in a timely manner. Well, then now you know exactly what you need to do. And anything that's not that, cut it off, cancel it, forget about it, and get to work. Thanks for watching. Bye.